Hello and welcome back to our renovation series, Watertight by Winter. This is something that I wanted to talk to you about. Actually, you missed this off of the plan. This is episode 2 and we are renovating this 1940s bungalow in South Manchester into a 6-bedroom family house. We do have builders doing our build because it is not realistic for us to do it, but on this channel and through this series, I do want to show the reality of using builders for a renovation like this. So this is episode 2. I do have a renovations playlist, so head over there to see all of our videos. And if you missed episode 1, I went through why it took us a year and a half to get builders on site. We've actually now had this house for nearly 2 years. The problems we went through with planning and costs. I know everyone wants to know about costs, of course. We actually gutted out the whole of the inside of this house whilst we were waiting for planning. And I went through whether that was a good idea or a bad idea from a cost perspective. A spoiler alert, we were glad that we did it because it just gave us something to do whilst we could do absolutely nothing. And I basically went through what we spent until we got the builders on site. So that includes tree removal, asbestos removal, and gutting out the inside of the house, plus costs for architects, planning, building control, etc., etc. So if you are starting your renovation, you're thinking about it, make sure you go and see that episode. We are now 5 months into this build with the builders. Again, in episode 1, I went through the first 3 months, which was essentially taking off the roof, knocking the back wall down, putting down the foundations inside the house and also the back foundations. They then started on building these inside walls. We knocked down the front wall, did the foundations there, and then they started building it back up. So in this video, I'm going to go through what's been happening in the last 2 months because we've had some huge changes. Once the ground floor internal walls had been built and the front and the back walls had been built, we're actually keeping the original side walls of this house. So this is not a completely new build from scratch. I know that's a popular question, like why didn't you just knock it all down and start again? For various reasons we didn't. I'm going to do another video about that soon because it's all to do with the mortgage and things like that of what you're actually allowed to do. It isn't that easy just to knock it down and start again. So we have kept the side walls and the garage as the original, but then they started on the first floor. So they put all of the joists in. They managed to do this at the end of summer, which I think was the perfect time for them, along with the floorboards as well. And they glued all of those down. And then that gave us access to the upstairs. So before I take you upstairs, these are what our current stairs are looking like. A nice ladder. Our stairs are actually going to go in here. And then this is actually going to be our landing area with a banister like along here as well, with the stairs coming down here. So at about 4 months of this project, the builders were able to start working on our first floor. They first put up the back wall and we've got all of our bedroom windows along here. So every point is exciting along the build. I think every week we're like, wow, this is most exciting, this is most exciting. But it was a very exciting moment to see the outline of our bedroom windows overlooking the garden and be able to picture, this is what we're going to be waking up to soon, hopefully, inshallah. So we've got our bedroom window in here. And then going along here, we've got 3 of the boys' bedrooms windows. And one of the amazing things about building your own house is designing the house, of course. And so we have designed the plan so that all 3 boys have a bedroom that is the exact same size. So there is no complaints, no moaning now or in the future as they get older. Although one of them technically does have an ensuite, but we have said that's like on the lowest priority to get sorted. At 13 years old, he's not having an ensuite yet. So he has got a little bit of an advantage there. But in terms of the bedroom size, they are exactly the same. And that was something that was really kind of important to us and also just a big plus to us doing this big project. And then essentially the builders just carried on with this top floor. They built up the side walls and then started working on the spine wall behind me. So in here you can see this is actually the ensuite door for the corner bedroom with the entrance door here. And then we have the entrance door for the second bedroom here, or the middle one of the boys. And then we have, I'm going to tell you about this in a minute. And then we have, okay, if I just come from it from this angle, we've got our bedroom door. And then we're actually having like an indented area here for like a dresser for me. And then our ensuite door here. And this is something that I wanted to talk to you about. So as I said, we are using builders for this job, and we do want to give an honest and realistic experience of working with builders. We absolutely have no complaints with our builders. We found them through a friend who was doing a similar project to us down the road. They finished it by the time we started. It's absolutely amazing, done really, really well, and he spoke so highly of our builders. He also found the builders through someone else, so it's all been recommendations, all perfect. But we have had quite a few instances where we've had to tell the builders, actually, you missed this off of the plan. And this is one of these examples. We were up here the other day looking at all the doors, and I was like, the baby's room doesn't have a door. And then we looked and we're like, yeah, there's not enough doors. And obviously when you look here right now, as I just showed, along this main spine wall, we have got quite a few gaps. So I think that they maybe thought that some of the indents that we did was an extra door, even though they're different sizes. So I don't think that they did think that, but this is just a reality reminder that even if you have really, really good builders, like we do feel like we do, they have been so attentive to all of the work. Like our brickwork is done so amazingly, and we get on with our the main bricklayer really, really well, and he's the one that's doing all of this, but they can miss things. And my husband, you know, he's literally spent so many hours going over these plans, and I feel like he knows like literally every centimetre of this house. Personally, I don't. If it was left for me, we'd have these mistakes right from the start. But you do need someone else, I feel like, as well as the builders, to know this house inside out, to pick up on these things, because there has been quite a few things that have been missed, or we've seen they've done something wrong, and then actually 2 days later we've seen that they have changed it, which is great, but my husband did notice that they did it wrong to start with, or something like this wall. So in this instance, you can see we basically told them when they got to this level here, and now as they built up the last kind of 3 bricks, they left a gap, and then what they're going to do is just cut through later on once they've got the tools on site. So it's not really a huge problem. It's easily fixable, and we've noticed that with a few of the other things, especially with these breeze blocks, they can actually just cut down. They can add like half bricks. I think we changed something in the garage earlier on. We just said, oh, can you just move it over ever so slightly? They were able to cut down, add a half section of bricks. So that isn't a huge problem. But yeah, I think we were a little bit, well, I was a little bit worried about, you know, you don't want to be one of these clients who is like constantly on the builders, like, what are you doing? Checking up on them. But at the same time, I think it's no one knows the house as well as you do, or in my case, my husband does. And you do want to check up on them. It's not that they're doing anything wrong, it's just, are they doing it to the right details? So that is important, and that was, yeah, something I wanted to share. So we are now 5 months in, and when do we think this is going to be finished? This is the other biggest question I feel like obviously people have, they want to know, and so do we want to know that. But we kept saying watertight by winter. I feel like now we're having to change that to kind of watertight within winter. We were hoping that the builders were going to finish on site and give us a watertight house by the time they finished for the Christmas holidays, so essentially by the end of this year, 2025. I think now it is going to take them a bit of January. Essentially what we have done with our builders, we are breaking this renovation down into phases. So phase 1 is watertight with these builders that we're using right now. However, the windows are separate to this. So when we say watertight, that may not be with windows, but that is totally fine. We have had a quote for the windows, which was a really competitive one. And as soon as the builders start working on the roof, we're going to get the guy in for the windows and give us a full, like, he can properly measure up then and give us an actual quote. Something that we did think with the windows is that our back downstairs window, they're either going to be, I think it's going to be slider doors rather than bifold doors. It is a huge space, and we're going to need some huge panes of glass for that space, and I think that's probably what's going to be a huge part of our windows cost. So we did think maybe we could get the windows in the front of the house, at least then from the street as well. It looks a bit more like it's not just a renovated house, it looks a bit more, you know, nicer, and then maybe we could get the back windows in at a later stage. But once the builders have got the roof on and they have essentially left us with a watertight house, windows or no windows, it's then basically up to us. We are then going to take some time, hopefully not too long, to just reconfigure money and then start doing some work ourselves. So we are keen to do like the underfloor heating ourselves, the plasterboarding ourselves, maybe some of the flooring and the tiling. We are currently thinking about going to Libya. My husband is from Libya, to get some supplies in terms of the tiles, even some of the like bathroom pieces, the baths, the toilets, the sinks, because things are so much cheaper there. Even though they don't make them there in Libya, they actually ship them from like Italy or Spain. But by the time they are there, they're still so much cheaper than the UK. And then we can get them shipped here, because we do know couriers and containers that come to the UK regularly. So that might be something that we end up doing. I think it will be really interesting to look at, you know, is it cheaper, is it better to go to another country than actually get them here in the UK? Because obviously prices are so expensive here. So stay tuned for that, because we are going to try and do this in the most budget-friendly, affordable way as possible, but also with good quality things as much as we can. So I'm going to leave it there. We are posting regularly on our Instagram account. It is belhaj_home. So please do give us a follow on there. And if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments if you're doing this type of project too. That's why you're watching the video. And do think about subscribing. Like I said, I do have a renovations playlist. So if you're watching this a little bit later on, go there, see all of the episodes. And in episode 3, I think I'm going to go through why we decided to renovate a house in the first place, and also go through like why we didn't just knock it down and start again. Like I said, there are some like more technical difficulties to there, and also like why are we doing this big project as well, because it obviously is a huge expense, but from where we live, it's actually cheaper to buy an older house, renovate it, and then be with a house that is worth a lot more than, like, we couldn't afford this kind of house when it's finished, which is why we're doing this. So yeah, you might be in the same position there as well, because a lot of people are like, why did you even knock it down? It's so nice as well before as a bungalow. But yeah, that is a whole subject that I plan to share in episode 3. And then I will continue giving you updates on the house. I think once the roof goes in, I will do another episode then as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video, inshallah.